Welcome back to Name That Tune, episode 3, if you can believe it. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I've heard from you that many of you have had fun as well, so I'm excited to do another episode. If you're not following me on YouTube, please go to this URL, click the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I got some subscribers on the last vid and some comments. Always fun to interact in the comments. I'm trying to build up my YouTube following during the plague here. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I'm not there yet, but I believe in us. I believe we can do it. 10 more tunes plus one bonus tune. I'm trying to mix up the eras a little bit more, so maybe we'll have some older tunes, but we'll also have tunes that may throw people for a loop. It may be easier and harder at the same time. I think the ones I have this week, you should be able to get. I mean, nothing is too out there. I think it's all pretty famous stuff, and I really hope you do well. Let's get started. This is from my early college years. This band was actually really great. Maybe a little dated for the times now. Let's see if you remember this. I think you'll definitely recognize it. It'll be complicated to name the band and the name of the song. So that's tune number 1. I hope you got it. Familiar, right? Tune number 2 is special, and I'll explain why at the end, but I reveal it. It's a mainly piano-based tune, but it has a recognizable guitar part at the beginning. That's all you get. If you know, you know. Tune number 3 is from a classic record. You have to kind of be a music person though. If you're a very casual listener to music and don't know more of the really artistic performers of the past 30 years, this one may be tough for you. If you know it, you should know it because there's nothing else that sounds like this. That's the intro and the first part of the verse. You might know what it is and not know which song, so let's see how you did on this one. This is an artist who has transcended generations. This is an iconic guitar little riff, so you should probably get it. As iconic as it gets, if you've been to a sports event ever in your life, you've probably heard that. Another memorable lick, this is tune 5, and you'll probably recognize it, and I'm curious the number of people that'll get the band and the name of the song, but you'll hear it and kind of know that you know it, I think. If not, oh well. There it is. Metal, thrash, whatever you want to call it. This is from the 90s, I'll give you a hint. It's from a movie I hate. The tuning is just beyond bizarre, and this band is known for bizarre tunings. But from high to low, it's D, 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 and then low B. Every note's the same here. So let's see if you get this. If I was singing the song with it, you'd probably get it. So maybe you got it, maybe you didn't, I don't know. You will probably be mad at yourself when I tell you what it was, because it is a pretty known tune. This is a tricky one. I doubt many people will get this. It's an acoustic bit intro at the beginning of a dancier, more electro tune. So either you'll pick up on it or just be completely lost. But I gotta have some hard ones during this. This is definitely a famous artist, so, and this was a huge selling record. So, there it is. You may know this guitar riff, but not know the name of the song. If you aren't that into this artist, you may not have even heard this song because it's from a record 10 years ago. But if you have and you like the artist, you probably love this song. I love this song. Oh, that's hard. Ouch, that hurts. If you know this band, you know the song. If you've been listening to music the past 25 years and paid somewhat attention to like the most acclaimed records of that period, this is always one of them. Tune number 10 is also, I wouldn't say easy, but it's very recognizable, especially for a broad cross-section of audience. It may sound a little different because it's on acoustic and not electric. I don't know, let's see if you get this. This one is boomer friendly, although young people should know it too. I love this band. A lot of people deride them at times, but I think if you experience a lot of their catalog, I think you'll like them too. Incubus, and the song was, of course, Drive. You may have known the song and not known the name of the song. Make Yourself's actually a pretty great record. Incubus was cool, man. I mean, they had like the rap rock thing kind of going on. They had a DJ in the band, which is, in this day and age, unforgivable. But at the time, I think it made some sense. I actually played that song when I auditioned to play in the original incarnation of Mr. Pink. Mr. Pink was another Bowman band. Norah Jones. The lead-off single, Don't Know Why. This is from 2002. Norah Jones swept the Grammys that year. The reason this song has significance to me and to Chris Dreyer, we both fell in love with Norah when this album came out. And when we first started playing together acoustic and started playing out of town, so we would play colleges or different, like, you know, all-you-can-drink nights at the University of Florida. We played at Bowling Gills on some off nights, but it was just the two of us. We got a gig in Valdosta, Georgia at a place called JB's. If you were a band that had a crowd that would follow you out of town or had a Valdosta State crowd that would come to see you, great place to play. Collective Soul actually got their start there. So me and Dreyer, first out of town gig, just can't wait. They're so excited about it. Go to Valdosta, get there hours early, go to the mall and hang out, get some dinner. And then we're like sitting in the parking lot beforehand, drinking a bunch of beers. We listened to Don't Know Why by NORAH Jones like 20 times in a row. I don't know why we both just loved it so much, but we were just like, dude, we are kings. You know, pounding past Blue Ribbon in his car. We go inside, and they sound check us. We play 2 songs in, no one's there. 3 employees are there. They pull the plug, pull $100 out of the cash register, pay us, end of the show. No one saw us. On the sign outside, it didn't even have our names. It said D&T. It was the most kind of pathetic showing for an out-of-town gig. An experience many bands have had. I remember how proud we were to even be playing out of town. We're like, you know, we've made it. So that was, NORAH Jones was a big part of that story. It's from the album Grace by Jeff Buckley. It's so real. One of my favorite Jeff Buckley tunes. I remember discovering the record in 2001, maybe around Christmas time. Believe it or not, I'd never heard Hallelujah, his cover. Buckley had a short career and life, but Grace was like the debut of 1994. I didn't know it at the time. He also recorded with the guy Gary Lucas, who we shared a bill with at Rockwood Music Hall probably 10 years ago. Gary Lucas played, we played, and then NORAH Jones played with her group called Puss in Boots. They weren't called that then, they were called Fang Banger. It's her, Catherine Popper, and Sasha Dobson. They now go by Puss in Boots. They were awesome. NORAH plays guitar in that band. They covered Jesus Etc. by Wilco and a bunch of other stuff. Really, really cool. Anyways, yeah, that's weird how that's all connected. Bruce Springsteen and the track All Day'll Pass You By, Glory Days, in the Wink of a Young Girl's Eyes. One of the best live performers ever to be seen. COVID is robbing us of these performers who are literally in their 70s. Bruce is 71 now. I don't know that he would have toured this year. I hope he would have. He has a record coming out sometime soon. These are the people you definitely got to see if you haven't seen, because there's not a ton of years left for him to do what he does, but his concerts are electric. I've seen him twice. Both times were insane. If you're from New Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. Metallica, album the same name, song, same name. Master of Puppets. Metallica is hard to play. Actually, you really can't even see from the cover. It's the Goo Goo Dolls and the tune. The tune is Iris from the movie City of Angels. In high school, similar to how I do now, I went and saw this movie by myself. I sat down, and then a girl from my high school was also there, and we just sat and watched it. And I remember at the end being like, God, that was fucking terrible. I turned to her, and she was crying. And I was like, oh my God. I just couldn't handle it. From the very beginning of the movie, Meg Ryan's character, I just could not deal. Nick Cage is in it. Dennis Franz, NYPD Blue fame, was in it. He was probably the best part, I think. I can't remember much else about it, but oh my God, did I hate that movie. And I liked Meg Ryan in general, but that movie, oh my God. And it had a huge soundtrack. So Iris was a huge hit from that record. Huge hit for the Goo Goo Dolls. That may have been the pinnacle of their career. They'd been a band for a long time at that point. Johnny Resnick actually lives in my wife's hometown of Westfield, New Jersey, right around the corner from where her family used to live. Interesting factoid, we walked by there a few months ago when we were in town, and he didn't come out, but love you, Johnny. Madonna, Don't Tell Me. Iconic music video, if you haven't seen it. I loved this era of Madonna. This is her record, Music. Oh, I love it. I think it's like, this is from 20 years ago, and they did this like cowboy chic thing. This is also right when I was in London. But these big pop artists that America exports become big across the entire world. So when we were there, like Moby was a huge thing, but the biggest bands in England at the time were Coldplay. That first record had just come out, they were enormous. David Gray, there was the Madonna stuff, and the Madonna stuff felt massive. It just felt massive over there, so love that record. Don't Tell Me is a badass tune. If you haven't heard it in a while, put it on, man. It is a badass tune. John Mayer, and the tune is Edge of Desire. I've been seeing John Mayer live for 20 years. I saw him live last year 5 times. I went to both nights of Madison Square Garden, which he played solo. I went to both nights of Dead & Company at Madison Square Garden around Halloween. and we went and saw Dead and Company at Citi Field. All amazing shows. Thank God I went, because I had no idea this year that was going to be impossible. Radiohead, OK Computer, Paranoid Android. I still like Kid A more. I still to this day like Kid A more, but OK Computer is most people's #1 record by Radiohead, and a lot of people's #1 record of all time. It's from this Best of Dire Straits book, and the tune, of course, is Money for Nothing, Your Chicks for Free. The song was actually co-written by Sting, Eagles, Life in the Fast Lane. There is a 3-hour documentary called History of the Eagles. Unbelievable. Love it. They have an insane number of hits. They have the best-selling album in America of all time, which is the Eagles' Greatest Hits. It's tied or has exceeded Thriller. Thanks for hanging out for Name That Tune, episode 3. Follow this link. It'll take you to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate subscribing, trying to find ways to stay sane, stay creative, and practice my filmmaking. So this is one of them, and I appreciate people that have been watching and have been leaving positive comments. Tell me your score below. Don't write down the names of the songs. Just give me your score. Let me know how you did compared to other people. I will talk to you all very soon. Peace.